Alrighty, everybody. We're here today with TFS on the first episode of the podcast. We're going to get it started off. I'm Austin Green. To my right is Dylan Thompson, a.k.a. DJ Big Dooley.
Yes, sir.
Ahead of me is Jay Stone, a.k.a. Goddamn it.
Onyx Core.
Onyx.
Yeah, we're straight. It's actually kind of new, so I don't expect everybody to be able to get it right now.
We're going to get it right. So to start off for the first episode, I think a good idea is just to go around the table. And let's kind of introduce ourselves. Dooley, you want to kick us off?
Oh, yeah. My name is Dylan. I go by DJ Big Dooley. I'm a DJ. I'm a graphic designer. I make cover art for some of the guys that we work with. Edit music videos. Just a whole lot raging around there. Just trying to get everybody together, get everybody working good, and I even run live sound for some bands, even for local artists who just want to do solo shows. I can run live sound for pretty much anybody. What about you, Jay?
Well, man, your boy is a producer, self-learned producer, I should say. I didn't go to school for it or anything. Did learn a little bit of music theory in college when I was there, because I thought I wanted to teach kids, but yeah, that ain't for me, dog. That ain't for me,
That's
dog.
understandable, man.
So,
it happens.
But yeah, I'm a producer for the TFS Productions team. I record people, they come in, we work together, we build a good relationship. I'm also an artist, solo artist. My name is Onyx Corwin on all platforms. Look me up. CorrWin. Onyx Corwin. Look me up on all platforms. Should be everywhere. Got a new single out. Go listen to it. Tell me what y'all think. Featuring Kid Kent. I know he killed that shit. We're actually almost close to 1K right now on Spotify. We're actually close to 1.5K across all platforms. So let's go hit 1K on Spotify. Let's trigger those algorithms so get me on a playlist. Let's do it. Got another one dropping real soon. I'm pretty sure I'll record sometime this week, either Wednesday or Thursday, and then I'll probably drop it in about a week or two. So exciting stuff, man. Exciting stuff.
Hey, yeah, man. Well, Austin, tell us about you.
Like I said, I'm Austin Green. I don't know why these two talented individuals asked me to come on this podcast. I have no music background outside of being a fan, but I'm honored to be here and to talk about people around the 256. If nobody knew TFS 256. And I've been able to see, by hanging out with you guys, some real talent that I didn't know existed in the area. I mean, honestly, I've always kind of made fun of the backpack rappers from, little place in Alabama, but yeah. I've been pleasantly surprised in the past few months. So.
Yeah, it's actually kind of wild, man. Like, there is a lot of hidden talent here that no one knows about. Now, actually, Alabama's got a lot of rich music history, like Down Emotional Souls. A bunch of old R&B and soul singers produced their records there, and a bunch of rock bands. We got the Brothers Bar in downtown Jacksonville where the fucking Allman Brothers played, Jason Isbell, Riley Green. And yeah, those are country music and rock bands, but, it's the times are shifting, and it's the rise of the hip-hop and R&B and pop scene around here, so I'm glad that we're getting to expose a lot of people to this, what we got going on.
Yeah, for sure.
Absolutely.
Well, like I said previously, I have no music experience outside of being a fan, but you two individuals seem to have a lot more talent than me. Jay, start us off with how you got into music. What drove you that way?
Well, to be honest, dude, I actually moved away in 3rd and 4th grade to Coldwater Elementary, and it's the smallest school you will ever see in your life, besides maybe other small town, kind of country farmland schools where they literally only have like maybe 20 kids K through
Super
12.
rural,
Yeah, like
yeah.
rural area, you know what I'm saying? And like, so I got interested there because my music teacher, she asked me where I came from, and I was like, I came from Jacksonville. And she was like, so you know Miss Gillespie? And I was like, yeah, I know Miss Gillespie. Yeah, dude, yeah, she knew Miss Gillespie and Clint and everything. So that was kind of a bonding moment for us. And then she wanted me to get into her recorder class or whatever, and it was called like recording black belt. And like, not to like brag or anything, but I got my recording black belt before all the other kids. So a little bit of a flex there.
Hot cross buns
Yeah,
on the first day.
oh god. So it kind of just came naturally, and then before that, I had gotten my first drum set and guitars at the age of 8. My brother actually used to play bass guitar, so like,
I didn't know that.
yeah, he
Okay.
was actually interested in music. He wanted to play the flute in band, but he was actually kind of worried that people would make fun of him, so he never went out for it because you don't see a lot of guys playing flute.
That
But
sucks.
dude, I feel like he could have been really good at it because he did have the drive. He was learning bass at the same time I was learning guitar, and we would have like a little family jam session every now and then.
Can't beat that, man.
Yeah, dude. So that was pretty cool. And then I moved back, and in 5th grade they started talking about beginning band. In 6th grade I joined beginning band, and I wanted to play either drums, sax, or trumpet. And Miss Gillespie was like, look, I have a tuba player, I have trombone players. Will you please, pretty please, play the baritone for me? And I was like, sure, I'll play the baritone. So I got on low brass, learned the baritone. In 7th grade, the legend, as we all know and love, Jeffrey Gossett, he exposed me to the tuba because our tuba player had left and he needed someone to pick up that bass. So I was all about that bass, no treble from then on in. I was all about it. And then, yeah, man, everything was just a snowball effect from there. I joined jazz band, played trumpet, drum set, sung vocals, played trombone. And it wasn't until I got out of high school and finished my first year of college that I really understood that I did not want to teach. I wanted to do it on my own terms.
Yeah.
So I hit up Giles, which is a mutual friend of ours, another artist that you guys will hear about is here soon. I hit up Giles, and he had a producer that we had gone to high school with named Chandler, who's a genius. And I'm telling you, when I say this man's a genius, he was like arranging full like quintet, quartet pieces by himself. Yeah, like the Star Wars song that's like bum 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 bum.
Yeah,
he arranged that when he was in 9th grade.
What?
Yeah, dude. He had wrote that out for like 3 or 4 parts in 9th grade, and I walked in and I heard him playing it one day with Elvis Morales, Jose's little brother.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you know Sam White, Dr. White at JSU.
Not off the top of my head.
His little brother Peter White, who's an amazing trumpet player. Yeah, they were all playing that, and I was like, "Who wrote this?" And Chandler was like, "I did." I was like, "Dude, that bangs, bro. That's fine. Like, keep going. Like, do what you do." And then I found out through Giles after I heard a couple of his songs that Chandler produced them, and I was like, "Dude, try to get me in there with him because like I want to do this for real. I'll pay him like whatever it takes." And then once again, it was just a snowball effect, man. After I got on my own feet, I finally decided to get my own equipment, start learning how to produce, because I already liked writing music and structuring music, writing songs. I love lyricism, and playing guitar is really easy. Really easy to write music too. It's not easy. I still suck at it low key, but it just kind of like the songwriting ability came natural to me, and I've been performing since like live gigs on my own away from the school since I was 17.
Okay.
I got my first show at the old bar Caldwell Tavern in Anniston.
I know what you're talking
Yeah,
about.
and then there's a law in Alabama that states an employee can't serve alcohol there unless they're 21, but they can work there at 19.
Okay.
And when I got my first show, Torsten Dryden had reached out, and he was like, "Hey, dude, how old are you again?" And I knew about the law, so I lied about my age. I was like, "I'm 19, bro. Like no shit, I'm 19." And so he was like, "All right, cool." And he didn't find out till after the show that I had lied to him.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, man, like I said, it's just been a snowball effect. So, but yeah, it really helped me though. Like finding that drive and love for music, it really helped me.
Yeah.
And then also like meeting people, it kind of gets you out of your shell, you know what I'm saying? Especially once you start to produce for people. That's where the magic happens, is like making that intimate personal connection, because they're coming to you wanting to create a piece of art. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And that's really special. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I enjoy it. That's what I do. That's why I do it. And that's when I started, man. So yeah.
Wow. Well, deep. I knew you were in band, but I did not realize how many different instruments you played. I
play everything, or I can play everything to a certain degree, not really well, but I can like work my way around anything except for a woodwind instrument.
Yeah, I feel like I remember seeing you like with a drum and with a guitar for sure. But that's all that I knew of. I didn't know motherfucker was like an ace on the fucking recorder. Damn, we got a prodigy.
Yeah, man, my crossbones was my shit.
Dylan, how about you, man? Because I knew you a little bit better throughout high school. We graduated together.
Yeah, man. Yeah, we went to high school together all throughout school. We were in the same grade.
I saw you in the ag shop. I didn't see you in the band room.
Well, growing up, my story is a little bit different. Around the time of 5th grade is when I realized I wanted to start doing stuff. And so in 5th grade, I played football. Liked it, but hated it at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
It was a love-hate relationship with it. It wasn't for me. You know, I grew up on country music. Yeah, I grew up pretty much in the country, basically, you know, working with pigs, you know, goats, chickens. That's what I spent most of my time on the weekends doing with my dad and uncle.
And I remember you saying something about like you livestock judge for FFA competitions and
yeah,
shit. That's kind of lit though. That's kind of lit. Like you know shit about animals. Like
yeah,
like you're like Dr. Doolittle.
I guess in a way, yeah. But so 6th grade came around, and in 6th grade I actually decided I wanted to do something different than football. So in 6th grade I did the beginner band. And I actually played saxophone.
Oh, wow, dude. That's wild. That's wild.
Yeah, so I played saxophone for that whole 6th grade year, and then ended up deciding to give it up. It wasn't for me. I loved music, and I was decent, but I just didn't have the drive to play it like that. And so 7th grade, I went back to doing nothing. 8th grade, I played football again, and then I was going to keep playing football, but the coach at the time, Coach Houston.
What, you didn't like that wing bone triple option?
No, it wasn't that. Coach Houston, yeah, he had some problems with my family, and he didn't like me, so I wasn't going to deal with it.
Yeah.
And so I just stayed out of it, you know. And then, you know, growing up, I ended up meeting a buddy of mine, you know, Ryan Lang.
Yeah.
An old guitar player in your band, Jay, Sunshine Crooners. Check them out on Spotify. They got a single out called Baby. Okay. They got some more on the way, though. But, yeah, I met Ryan. I started hanging out with him. You know, me and him were like brothers with Kaiser and Sawyer. You know, it's all a bunch of rednecks running around together having fun.
Yeah.
At that point, you know, I still didn't really know who I was or, you know, what I wanted to do. And so, but one thing I did love doing more than anything with the guys was going out to Ryan's Creek a lot and him picking up his guitar and us just singing along and having a good time.
Those were some good times, too.
There's just something about that drive for music, that passion for music that just brings people together sometimes. And so that's where I've kind of found, yeah, like I said, I'd always loved music but didn't really know what I was going to do musically. Didn't know I was going to do anything musically because, you know, I tried playing guitar for a little bit. Couldn't really get the hang of it, so I just didn't try anymore. Got out of high school, spent a little bit of time, you know, just working on myself, figuring out who I am. Started, you know, that's when your band really got going together.
Yeah.
And I was good friends with Ryan, so I always started coming out to support him. Well, then it's changed from me supporting him to supporting all of y'all. And, you know, we just built up a friendship together. And ended up starting living with you. And that's, you know, seeing you do your thing with the music is kind of what really pushed me to, you know, want to do more.
Oh, yeah, dude. Fuck yeah. Yeah, that is wild, too, because, like, I remember when you had first moved in, and, like, I had been talking to you about, like, wanting to start our own shit, or, like, my own shit with someone else that was, like, really about it. And I was like, bro, I haven't met anyone that's about this shit like I am right now. And then you were just like, bro, if no one else is going to be about it, I'm going to be about it. I was like, all right, then let's fucking do this shit. Let's not half-ass it. We're gonna go for it. And ever since then, dude, like, we went from having nothing in here to having
probably $15,000 worth of equipment.
Dude, easy. High end, yeah, low end maybe even. Like,
yeah.
like on the low side of things. Like, but it's been a blessing for sure, dude, to have you come along on this journey. And have trust in a crazy ass idea that maybe 20 years from now we won't be able to work out and we'll all be struggling to find a 9 to 5 maybe, but at least it was fucking worth it, you know.
Yeah, we had fun doing it. You know what I mean? Yeah, that's what it's all about at the end of the day.
But what about you, man? What about you? Here, man. What about you, Austin Green? I know you're a big personality. A lot of people from the high school knew you. By the way, guys, we all went to high school together, so we kind of got that camaraderie and chemistry already built up. But yeah, man, I used to see you walking around high school, and I don't know. I'm gonna actually tell you a story about the first time I ever met you.
Okay, let me.
I don't know if you remember this, but I was in 7th grade and I was playing football.
Okay.
And you, I think, were also playing football because I had gone to a 7 a.m. workout, and you were there. And
summer workouts?
Summer workouts with Coach Houston, and I got put in your group.
Freshman year.
Yeah,
My
dude.
freshman year, yeah.
Yeah, and now you looked at me and you were like, "What's your name, bro?" And I was like kind of timid at the time because like there was a bunch of fucking varsity. I was like the only junior high player in there working out with you guys because I was trying to get better at the time that I played. And you were like, "What's your name, man?" And I was like, "My name's JJ." And you were like, "Oh, bro, that's a cool name, bro." And I was like, "I appreciate it." And then you started benching, and you started out repping 35s on the 45 bar. And I was like, "There's no way I'm gonna do this. I got fucking twig arms, dude. I'm gonna have to like tell him to like knock it down to 10s real quick, like 10s on each side." And then you're like, "No, bro, you got it." And then you actually pushed me. My first time like ever actually weightlifting to rep 35s, and I got 6. I remember that shit like it was yesterday.
Huh.
Yeah, dude, I swear to God. And then like I think it was also like Josh Barnes was over there talking to us and conversating with us and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And he had kind of helped me build my confidence in the weight room a little bit too.
Good
So
shit.
yeah, that was like the first time I met you, man.
Wow. Can't lie, I don't remember that one in particular, but I was very outgoing in high school and like especially in sports. I had a big like drive, being 5'6", 160, and they were slapping me at nose guard, man. So like I definitely wanted to see guys like get everything they could out in the weight room, and I was like, "No, motherfucker, I ain't gonna let you die." Like, it might bruise a rib or something, but we ain't gonna let them crack.
Yeah,
I had you, but dang, I really do not remember that one off the top of my head. That's funny,
dude, I'll never forget that.
Well, like I've said, this is the 3rd time I'm saying it, but I don't have any role in music right now besides doing this podcast currently, which again I'm honored to be here.
He used to freestyle back in the day, though.
Oh yeah, no. If you catch me at the right time on the right night, the vibes are right. We'll dick around a little bit, but that's about it, man. But I guess I could spill on to like hobbies and stuff like that. I'm a big time music connoisseur. Anything from rap, R&B to fucking country, Motown. Like,
hell yeah.
As long as it's not screamo, I'm in for it, man. Like, I'll give anything a try. I'm big into NFL, college football, NBA, all of that good stuff. I'm a Star Wars, Lord of the Rings, Marvel nerd. What I mean?
Dude.
I started running with this cat after high school. I remember you through high school.
Yeah, we never really hung out in high school because, like I said, I was just a redneck at the time. Yeah, I didn't really hang out with anybody other than the rednecks.
Yeah.
I just really didn't do a whole lot, man. I don't know. I was just still trying to figure out who I was and didn't figure that out till after high school. I'm still trying to figure out who I am, but I'm definitely got it more than what I did back then.
Well, I was a bad influence after high school. I know that much. I led you down some dark paths, but we made it out alive. So
I had some fun though, so it was all worth it.
Yeah. But man, besides that, since high school, I did like 3 semesters of college. Figured out I didn't know what the hell I was stacking up student loans for, and pulled out before Sally Mae got the best of me. We kept it under like 5 digits, so you know what I mean.
That's always a good thing.
Yeah. But since then, dude, I've done everything from being a FedEx delivery guy to Renaissance man coming to pick up your stuff when you're late on your payments. I was a security guard. Been reffing high school sports, trying to stay in shape. You know what I mean? I love freaking sports. Any way that you can get me around it. But that's been it, dude. I've just been trying to figure myself out like you were talking about. I mean, I've probably held 7 different jobs since high school and enjoyed all of the experiences through them. But, you know, I'm still figuring out everything. I have no clue where this ship is headed. I'm just happy the sails haven't ripped off yet. You know what I mean?
Absolutely, man. Absolutely.
Let's see.
That's a good little analogy. I like that.
Appreciate it.
That was a good little
bullshit. Just spewing out. Let's see. So, do y'all want to talk about day jobs, hobbies of your own?
Yes, you did. Jay, you want to go ahead?
Yeah. Well, like you, I am a huge fucking Marvel fan. I've read a lot of comics. I've seen every fucking movie, even the old ones that are bad, like Daredevil and Elektra, and like all the way to like the Wesley Snipes Blade, which I love that movie. That's not a bad movie at all. But what really caught me is the first Spider-Man movie with Tobey Maguire.
Yes, sir.
Like what was it, like 2001,
2002,
3,
maybe 3.
Yeah, somewhere in there.
The latest, yeah.
Yeah, back when Chad Kroger was still doing his thing with Nickelback, you know. But because they say a hero will save us, like, and then Kirsten Dunst is MJ and all that stuff. So that was pretty cool. That's what really got me into the Marvel stuff. So I enjoy sitting down to watch a good Marvel TV show or a Marvel movie. As far as like hobbies, whenever I do get the chance, I genuinely like going hunting and fishing. It's like a little escape. You're by yourself in nature. You get to connect, and like some people may disagree with like the hunting and fishing aspect because like you're killing animals and like why kill animals, but like I feel like it's better to do it yourself, you know what I'm saying, rather than let that cow or a chicken go through a whole lifetime of bullshit.
He's out here on freaking old McDonald's farm.
Yeah, like
cows.
Yeah, dude. So like, and don't get me wrong, like I love a good steak, but there's something that's like makes you feel connected with the universe and like with a higher power other than yourself when you like get to experience an animal in the way that you would hunting and fishing.
Yeah.
So like it's kind of cool to do that. I used to skateboard a lot before I tore my ACL, but I don't do that anymore. I can inline, you know, we'll go on like a rollerblade night every now and then, go to the skating rink, have some fun. I really like playing video games. I
kind of can't right now.
Yeah, I kind of can't right now. I can play with a controller, but Fortnite's the only game I can play on PC with the controller. But I do enjoy other games like Valorant. I like playing Magic the Gathering.
Okay.
Speaking of that, I saw Post Malone just recently spent $100,000 or $800,000 on a like first edition print signed Black Lotus card.
Oh, this is one card.
Yeah, one damn card, bro. One
Black Lotus,
damn
that's
card.
the most expensive card you'll ever find in Magic.
What the hell?
Yeah, he spent like
ridiculous.
$800K on that shit. First edition print, like very first edition, signed and everything. Like
to even get a regular one, it's a couple thousand.
Oh shit! So this is like
probably like 10K for like a regular.
Wow.
Yeah, dude, it's up there, and they don't even print them anymore. So like you got to search for that shit.
Wow.
Yeah, and then as far as like a day job, I currently work at Kronospan. We're the largest manufacturer of laminate flooring in the country, or actually in the world. All of the name brand people get their laminate flooring from us. So I'm gonna let you guys in on a little secret actually while I'm on this soapbox. Don't think that the price means you're getting a higher quality, because I promise you all of the laminate flooring you see on the shelves comes from Kronospan. I promise to God there's no difference between 80 square feet of that same laminate flooring from one company in a different color and the exact same laminate flooring in the same color from a different company that's $50 per square feet. It's the exact same board. I swear to God. I'm a lab technician there, so I do quality control. We have to cut up little samples and test them to make sure they're up to standard. We do physical tests. I don't do the chemical test yet, but I'm working my way up to be able to do formaldehyde tests and make sure our emissions are on par with the EPA regulations and the governmental regulations and shit like that.
Not to hate or anything, but we might need to slow down before chemicals. If you'll show everybody real quick why you're not able to play your video games right now.
Yeah,
that was
had
weird.
A little accident at Chronospan at the saw. It's not their fault though. The table on the table saw was loose, and I felt it. I knew it was loose. So, but I was making my last cut, and then it caught, and my hand slipped up under there. It actually should heal just fine, but we don't know if it's going to need to be further amputated yet. I hope it doesn't, but the doctors say it's healing fine, so we'll see in about... I think I go back this coming Wednesday to see if I got to get it cut any lower than what it is right now. So I'm praying that I don't have to learn guitar right-handed. You know what I'm saying?
It'd be a change up.
Yeah, it'd be it's going to take years.
Learning curve.
Yeah,
right there.
Huge learning curve right there. But I'll be hella ambidextrous after that.
Hell yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I might even be able to write left-handed after this. After it's all said and done with. But yeah, cut the tip of my finger off. It's got some stitches in there right now. A little bone exposure, a little flesh wound, but it's all straight. Yeah, that's really about it. That's really about my bread and butter for real. I do like cars, so if I ever get the chance to go to like a drag strip or an F1 race, I've never been to an F1 race. I've been to plenty of drag meets down in Steele, Alabama. That shit is so lit, dude. That shit is so lit. I remember this one time my mom had a V6 Mustang.
Shut up.
And it was like a 2006, 2007, like those old kind of, well, not really old, but like older kind of models. And as far as that goes, she beat the shit out of a truck that had a V8 Corvette engine.
No way.
I swear to God, it had a V8 Corvette engine in it, and it was a Toyota Tacoma. They had modified that shit, made it a little longer in the front end so it could take everything in the engine bay properly. And she stomped that thing. And I thought when I was a kid, I was under the assumption that everybody raced for pink slips like they like they do in movies. So I was like, Mom, don't lose. We're gonna lose the Mustang. Don't lose. And she went off that line, man, and probably got down that quarter of a mile in like 9 seconds.
Oh shit!
Yeah, and she had done all her own work on it too. So like from the ground up, it was hers. Yeah, so
okay.
She knew what she was doing. I also like motorcycles. My granddad was in a MC, the Devil's Disciples, the third largest in the United States. So I got to meet a lot of cool cats through that, and see a completely different culture. Like that Sons of Anarchy shit. Low key is real, man.
Oh, yeah.
Like some of it's exaggerated for the TV and shit, but like some of that stuff actually happens. Yeah. And that was wild to me to see that, because I'd always watch the TV show with my parents, and then I'd go to the clubhouse and be like, wow, like they're really riding around, ape hangers, no helmet, no shirt up under their leather vest, like they're toting guns in their fucking saddlebags, you know what I'm saying? So like it was kind of cool, man. It was kind of cool. But yeah, I'm also starting to get into tattoos. I got my first 3 on my ankle and 1 on my forearm, and I'm definitely gonna they say my Uncle John used to own a tattoo parlor in Anniston, and he always used to tell the first time clients, he used to be like, welcome to your new addiction.
Oh yeah, you got that fever.
Oh yeah, dude, and it's real, man. Like tattoo fever is real. I would even say it's stronger than baby fever. Once you start, you just you can't stop. You gotta keep going. But that's my hobbies, man. That's what I like to do. DJ Big Dooley, what you like to do, man? What you like to get into?
Well, shit. Normally, when I'm not working on shit for this, because this is what I do full time. The DJ stuff, the music video editing, everything like that. I'm even on every shoot for the music videos. Since I'm the one that's going to be editing, I work closely with the artists to make sure they get what they want, and everything looks good. So I like to be there on everything just to make sure everything's up to my quality and their quality. Everything works out smooth. It also helps for different inputs for different ideas. And so I really enjoy being on all the shoots, man, just because of that. I play a little bit of video games, play some Fortnite, play some Valorant, stream a little bit, DJ Big Dooley on Twitch.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I need to get back streaming a little bit more often. But man, I love spending time with friends, doing shit, having fun. Anything that just keeps you busy, but like allows you to have a lot of fun.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like work.
Yeah.
Piggybacking off of your fishing and hunting, man, we all went kayaking. How long ago was that?
A couple of weeks ago now. It's been like two or three.
Yeah. So you're not afraid to get out there.
Oh no, absolutely.
Throw a little sunscreen on, make sure we don't, bubble up.
I'm a little too white sometimes, so. But it's all good. Yeah, man, I love getting outdoors. Kayaking is definitely fun, especially when you got a good group to go with. Man, pretty much anything for real. I need to get back out fishing sometime.
Mm-hmm.
But nowadays, like I said, I love putting myself into this work because it doesn't feel like work. I'm having fun while doing it, doing what I love. And so, man, I just love doing everything that comes with it.
Heck yeah, dude. You have such a positive outlook on things, man, for real.
Man, I try to. I've been through a lot of shit, so I just try to look at the positive things.
Hell yeah.
For real.
Hell yeah.
Well, this might not be very well timed, but do y'all mind a little intermission for boys' room and another beer?
Yeah, go ahead,
Cool.
man.
How far?
12 seconds later.
All right, we're back from our little break there.
Little intermission.
Yeah, appreciate that, y'all. Well, now that we've kind of got a good feel for everybody here on the podcast, since we're not deep into this series and we don't have a whole lot of artists to talk about right now, let's just talk about what's going on in sports, pop culture, whatever y'all want to toss around. Let's just shoot it for a little bit.
Shoot, man, as long as they're shooting the shit, I'll kick it off real quick and say I love the Miss Marvel series so far, man. The new series on Disney Plus, dude.
It surprised me.
Yeah, it really has gone above and beyond my expectations as far as what they were going to do and how they were going to do it, too. Because, honestly, like, the first episode I sat down and watched with Dylan and Nathan.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, this is literally just going to be a Captain Marvel ripoff, except with, like, the Indian Hindu culture aspect of it.
Yeah.
Like, and I really wasn't convinced until the second episode.
Yeah, the first episode kind of left you kind of high and dry. Like,
yeah, very high and dry.
Is this going to be worth the count, or is it
kind of like another? It's like the Amazing Spider-Man to Tom Holland Spider-Man, like the Andrew Garfield Spider-Man to Tom Holland Spider-Man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying, kind of thing. Which I don't think. Actually, that's probably the ass backwards way to say that. I would say that Andrew Garfield Spider-Man to the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man.
There we go. Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
I knew what you were saying.
Yeah, because like Sony and Marvel did a very good job with Tobey Maguire Spider-Man. Mm-hmm. All three movies I think were fantastic.
Yeah.
The third one kind of was iffy, but nonetheless a good movie. And then they were like, the Amazing Spider-Man, and then after the first movie, which wasn't bad, they definitely could have done a whole lot better. I wasn't too convinced, but it's the same with this TV show. But after I watched the second episode, I was like, okay, this is kind of lit. You know what I'm saying? So I'm waiting to see the third episode.
Oh, but shit gets crazy in that third episode.
I'm waiting to see the third episode. I really enjoy that though, and I think the longevity of what Marvel's doing as far as their TV shows, being intertwined into the actual MCU movie universe.
Yeah.
I think that is fucking lit.
Yeah. I was a little disappointed. I'm a real harsh critic when it comes to movies and TV shows. And I had some buddies that were huge into The Flash. And when it wasn't the Barry Allen from the TV show, the Justice League,
Ezra Miller instead.
Yeah, I wasn't even that invested. Like, I'm way more of a Marvel guy than a DC. But I was like, how are you not going to get Barry Allen to come in here? But yeah, I've been pleasantly surprised by Miss Marvel. I honestly thought it was going to be dog shit, but it's been pretty good.
I'm not going to lie, dude. I did too. Like I said, I was not convinced, especially after seeing the trailers and shit. I was like, this is literally just like kind of like a teenage girl take on a superhero.
Yeah, the first episode does make you feel like that because it's just like they don't really explain anything about her powers, nothing like that. So it is kind of weird. It feels like it's like trying to be a ripoff.
Yeah.
But like in its own kind of way.
Yeah. But I also like what they did. Like the cinematography in it is amazing. Mm-hmm. I like those little edits they did. I don't know if it's The Fault in Our Stars that has the same kind of edits, but the one where it's like motion graphics while they're talking, but it's like instead of like words, it's like what they're talking about, like pictures and motion graphics and like animated characters and shit like that. So I thought that was pretty cool. They definitely had need. I think they could get away with doing a little bit more of that kind of stuff, as far as like the third person narration or like the first person narration of like what's going to go down as far as like what the character themselves is thinking.
Yeah.
I think that shit is kind of cool though, man. After I definitely warmed up to it. It took me until all the way at the end of the second episode to do it, but I did warm up to it. And normally I don't like pilot episodes anyway because they are slow and they're always dull. Yeah, dude, it's just always dull. So it was hard for me to get convinced, but I did enjoy it.
Absolutely.
But piggybacking off the Marvel thing, Doctor Strange, the new movie.
Oh,
have you seen it?
Okay, so we're not going to make this a whole side note, but yes and no.
Okay.
Went with a buddy. Might or might not have had a little blueberry before. I did not partake in that kind of stuff. And legit, I knew I was going out after the first 5 minutes. And I woke up when the lights came back on. And I was like, oh, it must have been good.
That's funny, dude.
But what did you think about it?
I thought it was fucking fantastic. Damn it. Like, honest to God,
it was
man.
A good
like,
movie.
And since you're a Marvel nerd, I'm not gonna like spoil anything, but the way, and it shows it in the trailers anyway, so I know you know it's in there.
Yeah.
But I'm not gonna tell you who's in there. But the way they tie in the Illuminati from like it is different from the comics. It doesn't have the same members clearly. Okay. Because like for one, Iron Man died. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. So they don't have the same members, but the members they got and the way they did it
added up.
Yeah, it is. It is so fucking awesome to see, especially since like the Spider-Man No Way Home kind of feeds into this Doctor Strange thing.
Yeah.
And even before that, even before the Spider-Man No Way Home, the WandaVision shit.
Yeah.
The WandaVision shit is crazy, and I didn't expect. Once you actually sit down and watch the film, I will say I was completely surprised by who the villain actually is.
Okay.
Like I know I should have seen it coming, but I didn't.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Kind of shit. So it was a pleasant surprise to see them kind of have a conflict that no one knew was no one was, because in the trailer, you know, they make it seem like there's this other person and it's like a new villain, you know what I'm saying? Not anyone we've seen before. And I was like, all right, dude, this is a fucking bet. There's about to be like a galactic-sized battle go down. Like, I actually thought the villain was going to be Galactus. That's who I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, I saw like even some little chatter on the internet about
Yeah, I thought it was going to be Galactus because like the multiverse, like, you know what I'm saying? Or I thought it was going to, it was either, my two picks were Galactus or fucking, Kang the Conqueror, because of the multiverse and the way he played into the Loki series after the TVA, you know, after they had found him. And I was like, oh shit. It's got to be one of these two guys. And I'm still waiting on Galactus to be introduced. I feel like he'll be introduced in one of the next coming up movies.
Yeah.
I think it'll take a minute for him to get there. Because especially, I don't think Thor Love and Thunder coming out, I don't think that really has anything to do with like the main story arc of the entire MCU as far as like, what is it, like Earth 838 or something like that?
616.
616, yeah. I don't think it has to do anything with like Earth 616. Instead, it has to do with like Thor and the current Guardians team trying to find out who Thor is, especially after he lost everything with Ragnarok and his homeland and all that shit, and his mom and his dad and Loki, his brother.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, I've heard they're looking at like introducing a new Fantastic Four.
Oh, dude, if they do that too, oh man, I wish I could say it, but I can't because you haven't seen it. But like, the casting is fantastic.
Okay.
The casting is so fucking good.
Well, if they stick with him, I don't know. Have they said that they're going to stick with him?
I don't know, but I know he's directing it, so he probably is going to be in the film.
That would, because that honestly would be the best pick, in my opinion.
I don't think there's anyone else they can get to play, but I'm curious as to see who they get to play the Flame. Because I heard Chris Evans would like to reprise that role, but I also know Marvel has a rule to where if you don't wear makeup, you can't play another character. So like the only way, what's his name? The guy that played Moon Knight. What's his damn name?
I know who you're talking about.
Crap.
I'm gonna look that up real quick. But the dude that played Moon Knight, he's actually played in 2 other Marvel series before.
I didn't realize that.
So he played. Do you remember in? Let's see. Do you remember the first Guardians of the Galaxy movie? Where Star-Lord was being goofy as fuck, and he had like a little dance off with his with that dude. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That was Oscar Isaac.
Wait,
yeah.
that was it?
That was Oscar Isaac.
What the
Yes,
hell?
dude,
Yeah.
that was Oscar Isaac, and he voiced something in an animated series that actually is canon to the MCU.
Okay, yeah.
As far as like the animated series and the comics go, so he did voice another character as well.
Yeah.
So he's kind of been the only one to get away with that in a way.
Yeah.
The only other person I could see getting away with that is probably Dave Bautista, because he is in all that makeup as something to destroy.
Drax.
Yeah, Drax.
Drax, yeah.
Drax the Destroyer. So I feel like he's the only other person that could get away with it. But I wouldn't be mad to see Chris Evans reprise his role as the Human Torch, the Flame. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I feel like there are a lot of actors that could play that role.
I
where
feel like
you don't
James
have to
Franco
repeat.
would be a good pick for the role too, but in light of his association with Amber Heard cheating on Johnny Depp, that might be a little steep wish to come by. I also don't know who they'd get to play Miss Invisible, or the Rock guy. What's his fucking name?
The Incredible, or not the Incredible, but the Thing.
Yeah, the thing. Yeah. So I don't know who they would get to play those. But I'm excited to see who they cast, because low-key, I've never been disappointed by like an actual Marvel Studios casting.
I know, right?
The only castings I've been disappointed in are the people that take Marvel movies, like Sony.
Yeah.
Like Andrew Garfield was a good Spider-Man, and I think he even did. I think he kind of revived himself a little bit and put himself in a position to where if they were to make another Amazing Spider-Man movie, he'd be able to do it, because the No Way Home thing, where the other 2 universes, Peter Parkers, are connected and all that stuff. They meet Tom Holland's Peter Parker.
Yeah.
I think Tom Holland and what's his name? Tobey Maguire.
Yeah.
They did an amazing job, but I really think the thing that stole the show for me was seeing Andrew Garfield come in, and he seemed like a new person. He just seemed like a new person. Like, it was such a refreshing kind of like thing to see. Like, you could clearly see he had been doing better in life too, and all the hype build up too. Like, he just completely lied to everybody that asked him about it. Like, no, I'm not in the new Spider-Man movie. No, Tobey Maguire's not in the new Spider-Man movie. If we were in it, you would know by now.
Yeah.
But no, we wouldn't, dude. It's fucking Marvel. It was their biggest movie since. Yeah, dude. It was their biggest movie since Endgame. Arguably the biggest movie since Endgame, and shit like that just doesn't get leaked. You know what I'm saying? So
Exactly.
like, there's a bunch of contracts and legalities, and if someone does leak that, they're either getting sued, fired, or both. So you gotta tread lightly on that thin ice right there.
Yeah.
Dylan, I know you're big into the DCEU, and Austin, I know you are too. I don't really watch a lot of it, but as far as like the trailers I've been seeing, the She-Hulk's Marvel, but I will say before we get into the DCEU stuff, She-Hulk, I don't know how to feel about. Only because I'm going to say the same thing everyone's been saying. The CGI in the trailers looks abso-fucking-lutely atrocious.
Yeah.
And I think they're probably revisiting that a little bit after they got that criticism. Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I think they're going to have to revisit that. But I'm actually kind of excited to see where it goes, because I did like the comics. The She-Hulk comics were pretty entertaining to read. But yeah, into the DCEU stuff. I know you guys are big into that. Dylan, you actually got me kind of invested. I've seen a couple episodes of The Flash, and I want to go and revisit everything. But I know there's a fuckload to revisit. There's Supergirl, there's Arrow, there's fucking...
Well, all the thing about all the DC shows is pretty much all of them tie into each other. And there's 4 shows specifically that tie into each other, and they have crossovers pretty much every season. And it's normally like a 4-part crossover, and there's 1 episode for the crossover on each series.
That's wild.
So you've got Green Arrow, you've got The Flash, you've got Supergirl, and then you've got Legends of Tomorrow.
Yeah, that one too.
Legends of Tomorrow, I think they're done making it now. I think it's over. Unless they come out with a new season, which I don't think they will. But Flash, they're still coming out with. They're still keeping that one up. And it's still just as good as it was, when it started.
Yeah, I've heard that show has a really good amount of longevity.
Yeah.
Like, you won't be disappointed in any season that you watch.
It feels like the same old, because it's like another superhero story. Oh, it's the Flash, he's super fast. But, like, the way they do it and everything that happens in the show, they do really well with it and keeping up a good storyline even throughout 7 seasons.
Yeah.
So, yeah, storyline changes little bits here and there throughout different seasons, but the main premise is basically still the same, because it is a superhero show at the end of the day.
Yeah. That good guy, bad guy kind of stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
And speaking of DCEU, can we just talk about a couple of things regarding that as well? Ezra Miller, finally, I'm pretty sure, is no longer going to be the Flash.
Yeah, Ezra Miller.
Yeah, because I don't know if you saw, but, like, he's been having a hard time ever since he got the role, because even before this, I would kind of go on a limb and say he had been a pretentious person because he is a good actor.
Yes.
So he seems like a very pretentious, kind of dickheadish person. And so I think once he got the role of the Flash in the DCEU and had a bunch of blockbuster movies, like superhero movies, that kind of got to his head a little bit more, I think. And I saw a couple headlines where, like, here and there he would get accused of sexual assault, and, like, the most recent article that I had read said he actually is guilty of assaulting a couple at a nightclub.
Oh shit.
Yeah. And so DCEU didn't really like that too much. And they were like, yeah, you know what? I think it's about time. I think it's about that time we part ways. We're just going to have to find someone to reprise the role. And that brings me back to what you said earlier, Austin, about the Barry Allen. I hope they get... I hope they fucking open their eyes and realize what the fans want as far as recasting that role.
Yeah, out of any superhero, like, TV show, The Flash is by far, like, the best one I've seen, like... People get hooked, dude. I've got so many buddies, and I remember just casually hanging out, and I was like, damn, y'all are still watching The Flash? And they'd be like, yeah, it's like season 4 or something. I'm like, oh, it didn't, like, tank? Like, most of those shows kind of fold, and it seems like, I don't know, those people that watch it are just behind it 100%, so...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, I don't think they'll use the same Flash for... the Justice League, because technically the Flash that's in the Justice League is not Barry Allen.
You are right too. Yeah, that is a good point to make.
So that's why they can't.
Because they opened up that multiverse thing too.
Yeah, a lot of people
said,
why can't you use Barry Allen Flash? He's a good actor. Yes, he's a great actor. He does amazing in the show, but they can't do that because technically Barry Allen isn't part of the Justice League.
Yeah.
Okay.
That does make sense.
Yeah.
I completely forgot they had their own, like, multiversal thing going on.
Yeah, Jay Garrick was the one.
Jay Garrick.
Yeah.
Jay Garrick was the one, and then Wally West ends up being a part of the Justice League later on.
That was Kid Flash or something?
No, Kid Flash was completely separate as well.
Wow.
Kid Flash was not Wally West.
That's like fucking Robins. I didn't know there were that many.
Yeah, dude.
There's so many different variants of Flash. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Like the Reverse Flash. Like, I saw that episode where he came in.
People think Reverse Flash and Zoom are the same person.
They're not the same person.
They're different as well. So it's just crazy how many differences there are.
Yeah.
And then, can we talk about how this? You might get it when I drop this hint, but how the hierarchy of power in the DCU is about to shift. What am I referring to when I say that?
I'm wondering what you're hinting towards. I mean,
it's a direct quote from Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson for the Black Adam project.
Oh my gosh, I forgot all about it.
Yeah, man,
Yeah,
that shit
Black
is
Adam.
gonna be sick. I am so
Yeah,
excited.
because honestly, Shazam they did really well with. I don't know if you've seen
I was
that one.
very surprised with what they did with Shazam. It was
They
kind
kept
of
it funny,
yeah, it was like very
funny,
lighthearted.
lighthearted.
Yeah.
but it was still funny at the same time. But then they kept the action looking good. Yeah, I think they did really well with Shazam.
I think that works as an origin story too. Like kid, like in a metropolitan city, getting bullied. He finds his way on a subway, and then all of a sudden some shit happens. Finds his way to like this grand wizard, like just some old ass wizard. And I love the casting for that wizard too. I don't know his name, but he played in like Never Back Down. He's played in a couple other movies that I've seen, but he's a solid actor. And I like the way they like kind of had him like test out his powers. He kind of had that like kiddish curiosity in a grown man's body. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like when they were in the warehouse and he like punched through a fucking a brick column and he was like, "I have super strength." Like, yeah, dude, like that shit was crazy. And he was like, "Can you fly?" And then like they went to the skate park on that half pipe and he like flew 25 feet or so in the air and like plummeted back down. Like that shit was. I think
they actually gave him like a kid's reaction, not an adult's reaction.
Yeah.
And so it played into it better.
I think it did.
Yeah.
I think it did. But I'm excited to see what fucking Black Adam does, man.
Yeah, Black Adam's gonna be interesting, and fucking Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson.
Who better to play that motherfucking role?
Yeah,
like
for
you need
real.
someone larger than life to play a larger than life role. How about you get someone that's literally, physically, and like on a social level, completely larger than life?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the man has his own character in Fortnite.
Facts.
Yeah.
Like facts. And a lot of
Even
people
in the
don't
comics
realize.
and everything.
Yeah, I was about to say a lot of people
So
don't realize.
technically now The Rock is in
Marvel and DC. Yeah.
because the reason his character was introduced in Marvel or in Fortnite was because it's a Marvel crossover for their comic Zero Wars
Yeah.
and all that. So yeah,
And once I found that out, that was kind of astonishing because that made sense as to why they were putting all these Marvel characters in the game, like the Avengers and
Yeah, I saw
Spider-Man.
Doctor Strange.
Yeah, all that stuff. Like, I think that's kind of cool though, for real.
so The Rock is officially about to be the only person who has a superhero in both Marvel and DC.
I think that's wild, man. That's
Even
wild.
though he's technically not a superhero
in Marvel,
in Marvel's universe that he's in,
he
but
kind of just made his way from the Fortnite universe to Marvel.
yeah, he's kind of just a badass in there.
Yeah. But I would consider him a hero because, like, if you take into account like what happened in the Fortnite storyline,
Yeah.
like
I
he
mean,
like
they did
him
give
and
him
his
a big
team,
ass statue.
yeah, him and his team saved the damn like quote unquote world in Fortnite. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I think that was pretty lit.
Blue, red, Republican, Democrat. I don't care. When he's done with this role, please run for president.
President, yes.
Come on,
Oh my
Joe
God, please run for
Joe
president.
Rogan as your vice president.
That would
Let's
be.
get
That
this
would
country
actually.
straight.
Yeah, that would actually be a good pairing. I feel like we're going toward the point in our country though where more like, more movie stars and businessmen and shit like that are going to seriously be considering running for politics and like higher roles in politics too, like Secretary of the United States
Think
or
about like
VP.
Schwarzenegger and Reagan.
Yeah, dude.
Dwayne Johnson has it in the bag right now. Like
I just really hope that he doesn't limit himself to only being like a governor like Schwarzenegger did. I feel like that was a good thing for Schwarzenegger, but I also feel like he did that just solely based off of what he could get out of it. You know what I'm saying? As far as like status and privileges, certain privileges, that governors have.
Yeah.
Because like there was a lot of stuff going on with like the Californian economy that wasn't like 100%. I mean, no governor ever has a 100%, but like he clearly wasn't meant to be a politician. You know what I'm saying? Like that's kind of it's kind of weird to think about that. Like holy shit, Arnold Schwarzenegger was a governor of California for quite a long time too. Like for
a few terms.
Yeah, like not like just one term or like a couple years. Like like a considerable amount of time.
Yeah.
But I think we're gonna get to the point where like I've seen a bunch of people on Twitter, like a bunch of fucking Kanye fans and a bunch of Elon Musk fans, and like I'm not gonna lie, dude. I'm not gonna lie. I was one of those people that went into the voting box, like the ballot box, this past election, and I was like, I have a choice to vote for shit. I have a choice to vote for worse shit. Like here's horse shit and here's cow shit. I'd rather not have either of those. Yeah. So I'm not gonna flex to you guys. I fucking wrote Kanye West's name on the ballot. I wrote Kanye West's name on the ballot, and some people hearing this might get, oh, that's a wasted vote. That's a wasted vote. Well, if they wanted to, all of our votes would be null and void. Yeah. There's a whole bunch of like political science as to why not every person's vote counts in the first place anyway.
Gerrymandering.
Yeah, like gerrymandering. Yeah. You got lobbyists. And the Electoral College is a big part of that too. You know what I'm saying?
Welcome to Alabama. You're voting red, whether you vote
like
blue
yeah,
or not.
Whether you vote blue or not in Alabama, and even most red states, you're still gonna vote red. Like Georgia now is considered a swing state because they voted Democrat this past election. Even their local elections, they voted Democrat. So they're considered now a swing state. Now I know other swing states, they've been voting red for the past 2 elections. But that doesn't mean they didn't have a high Democrat turnout. Like, if I'm not mistaken, like some swing states, they actually had a higher Democrat turnout, but because the Electoral College works a certain way, they got the majority of the votes on the red side. Yeah. So it's kind of just wild to see that. But I think we'll get to a point where, you know, more people in Hollywood and show business and businessmen, like, I wouldn't be surprised if fucking Mark Cuban ran for president, bro. Or like, yeah, dude, like vice president or something. Yeah. But yeah, dude, I could get behind Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson and Joe Rogan.
I mean, look, even if it means that we're in like, not a communist, but what am I trying to think of? Italy wasn't communist with Mussolini. It was
like a socialism fascist type thing.
Yeah. You know, we might all be waking up at 5 o'clock in the morning to get on the Stairmaster, but it's going to improve the United States.
He said the Stairmaster, dude.
I mean, he's really out here doing it, though.
He said, no more childhood obesity.
Yeah,
no more childhood obesity. That's funny. And if Joe Rogan does ever get in politics, which I doubt he ever will because I don't think he wants to, but if he ever does, the amount of, like, psychedelics that'll be able to be used for like therapeutic and like actual medicinal purposes, because he's like, you watch his podcast, he's big on that shit. Like he's smoked weed and dropped shrooms on that podcast many times before, you know what I'm saying? Like, and even on other podcasts, like I think his name's I don't even want to say the wrong name, but the comedian, I think his name's like Andrew Schultz or whatever.
Yes.
Yeah, he was on his podcast recently, and like he had brought a like fat ass blunt, and he was talking to everybody about it, and there's this one dude, I forgot his name, a comedian that didn't really smoke, but he was like, no, you're gonna fucking smoke, bro. Like open your third eye, bro. Like, and then the dude was like, I feel like you're pressuring me right now. He's like, I'm most definitely pressuring you right now. I'm most definitely pressuring you right now. But yeah, dude, I think that would be kind of fucking wild. I would definitely vote for them though, dude. Yeah. Like, they got my vote. If they ever run, like, regardless of who Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson's VP candidate is, I'm voting. Yeah. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm voting for that man.
Yeah. Well, just a heads up, this is not a political podcast. We're not ever going to be serious about anything.
No, yeah. We do have our opinions, but
you'll get.
Yeah, we do have our opinions, but as far as this being like a Joe Rogan type podcast, that's no.
Yeah.
We start crack jokes every once in a while.
Yeah.
Keep it lighthearted. Keep it fun.
Moving on, there was something big that happened in the sports world a couple of days ago, and that's the NBA draft.
What do you think, man? I'm afraid of Golden State. I saw that 6'10" kid.
Yeah, they got another fucking, like, I feel like he's gonna play the role of a true center.
But he can drain threes.
Yeah, I know, and that's the scary part about it, dude. They got like another fucking, like, Dirk Nowitzki wasn't good at the three, as I don't think as good as this kid is gonna be, but I feel like he's gonna be a Dirk Nowitzki-esque type player.
Yeah,
you know
not
what
as
I'm
much
saying?
of a back to the basket.
Yeah, but
more
like
of like a point forward. But
yeah, like he's got like handles of a point guard, and he's got the fucking three ball of a shooting guard, and like he's got the size of a fucking 5.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like, and I know he's gonna get rebounds. Like, that's a given. Like, any person that's fucking 6'10", you stick someone that's 6'6" or 6'5", even 6'7", 6'8".
They're
like
putting Draymond at the 5 as it is. You
know, dude. Like, and Draymond just goes down there and muscles people, dude. So like, imagine what that once he gets a little bit of weight on him, like that NBA weight, like what they did to Giannis, type shit. Like, Giannis was a twig before he came in the league, and then they bulked that man up, and he is a scary individual.
Monster.
Yeah,
Freak
dude, like
of nature.
literally the Greek freak. Like,
Yeah.
like there's no other way to put it. Like you see him, and you're just like, wow, that is fucking. Like this should be an atrocity, but it's a marvel of science. like
Yeah.
like sports science.
Guys like him and Kevin Durant. Like,
Yeah.
I've always thought, and not that I hope that this would happen, but early in KD's career, I was like, "Ooh, don't roll your ankle, your knee, like everything as he went into the lane."
Yeah, dude.
And I had the same thought about Giannis, but then when he came out, like 2 years later, and an extra 60 pounds on his frame?
Literally extra
It's
like 40 to 60 pounds.
Yeah, you're good, dude. I'm not worried about you anymore. Like, you have filled out, and I'm not afraid of every step that you take.
Yeah, dude, like, because it is kind of harrowing a little bit to see, like, certain players when they first get in the league, like Zion.
Yeah.
And he didn't have the same problem, actually, that most of these motherfuckers have, where he's got to bulk up. He actually had to lose weight.
The opposite.
Because, like, even though he wasn't the tallest player, he was still the heaviest player in the league when he got drafted.
Yeah.
And that's fucking wild, because that dude had a 6-inch vertical.
Yeah.
He's like 6'8" or some shit, and like fucking 270 with a 46-inch vert.
Yeah. Charles Barkley 2.0.
Yeah, dude, like it is fucking ridiculous that literally, like, if there was another like nickname like the Greek Freak that we could apply to Zion, like that shit would be, I don't even know what, bro. It's like a monster. Like we should call him the Hulk for real.
Yeah, freaking one of the actual Monstars.
Yeah, Monster. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure he was the orange guy. I'm not sure, but he looked like him. Like, just saying.
He did kind of look like, the same build and like the little same head shape and everything as well.
What do you think about Damian Lillard trying to recruit Kevin Durant?
I actually like that move. It's smart for Portland. Brooklyn is going nowhere. I knew that shit was going to happen once I saw the reports a couple years ago. Yep. Yeah. Well, even when I saw the reports a couple years ago that Kyrie, KD, and James Harden were going to be on the same team, I was like, that shit's not going to work. You got 3 of the best ISO players on the league.
Yeah, ball in hand.
Yeah, they're not team players. KD can be. He can facilitate the ball. Mm-hmm. Don't get me wrong. He has court vision. And so can James Harden and Kyrie. But when you got 3 huge-ass personalities like that, like, and you got to think, KD was fresh off 2 rings with the Warriors and MVPs, right?
Yeah.
So he already had a standard of let's go get a chip. Mm-hmm. And I feel like once Kyrie got that chip with the Cavs and LeBron, he kind of let himself slip. He got content and also got ego about him. Yeah. And like I like in the past 2 years with the Brooklyn Nets, he's only played like half, if that, of their games or some shit like that.
Yeah.
Like 60-70% of their games.
And I wasn't in favor of their policy for COVID. Like, I wish he could have played every game. I think he would have.
If he could have, I know he would have.
But yeah, it's a liability at the end of the day. You know, whether you agree with it or not. I think it would be dope to see KD up there if Kyrie is leaving for sure. And I don't know where that is, LA. If
I heard that the Lakers, the Miami Heat, Oklahoma City might try to get him. I doubt he'll go there because they don't really have another person they could put around him to help him out. They do have a lot of young talent, don't get me wrong, and in a couple of years they'll be solid as fuck. Yeah. But right now I don't think that's a move for Kyrie. And honestly, dude, I don't think the Lakers are going to acquire him just because, number one, they
broke like 46.
They might not have the cap space, and Kyrie might really not want to play with LeBron again. Like, because what you got to think, when you play with LeBron, like, they call him lay GM for a reason. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, whatever team he's on, he's running that shit.
Yeah, player, coach,
on everything I love, he's running that shit. So we'll just have to see where he goes. But I do like KD to Portland. I think that's smart as fuck for the Portland Trailblazers. Absolutely. They can't afford to lose Damian Lillard. No. He's their franchise player. He's been their franchise player. He's clearly proven to you he can get you through the playoffs. He might not be able to get you to a finals appearance, but he can get you pretty damn deep into the playoffs by himself.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Throw KD in that mix with him.
And it's over with. It's over with. Because they also have pretty solid big men down low. Mm-hmm. You know, if Dame's running true point and facilitating the ball to KD like he needs to be, there's another threat out on the court. You know, sometimes they'll double KD on coverages, which means Dame could go off for still go off for 30 to 50 points some nights.
Yeah.
KD's going to be that kind of guy where, you know, he's going to be sitting at the 3 line waiting for Damian Lillard to get doubled up, coverages to switch. Yeah, pop it out real quick, drain a 3, drive to the basket because he's long as fuck. So I think it's smart for real. And they have the cap space. I know they have the cap space.
Yeah.
Like, because if I'm not mistaken, most of their team is pretty young. Considering,
Yep. I mean, Dame's
like what's been
the
going
old
on,
head.
yeah, like he's the vet, like he's the guy at that. Even in the front office, like he's that guy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I don't think he pulls strings as much as other players do on other teams, as far as like being their franchise players. But I think it's solid. I think that's a solid move. That's a good ass point to bring up too.
Yeah.
Very good point to bring up because trading's about to start happening.
Yeah.
Way more.
Well, especially now that the season's over, trades are about to go through, and this off season's going to be crazy.
Crazy as fuck to
Yeah,
watch.
I'm excited to see what's going to happen when this new season starts up.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see what's going to happen with the Lakers because they do have a new head coach. And if you've been like watching his like interviews and stuff like that
Getting on
preseason,
Westbrook?
yeah, man,
like
that's the
that.
big thing right there. Is because Westbrook really, the past 2 or 3 years, dude, he just ain't been it. Everybody calls him the triple-double king, but like he hasn't averaged a triple-double since he's like left OKC.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, he can still put up numbers if he wants to when he gets in his bag. But right now, how often is he getting in his bag?
Yeah.
And if it's not that often, then that's kind of a problem because you're forking out a shitload of money for this guy who's not putting up the numbers you expect. And I agree with him, too. If Westbrook would just play a little bit of damn defense,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
and I'm not saying he doesn't play it at all, but, like, just be a little more aggressive. Be a dog like they need you to be.
Mm-hmm.
Like, because you're athletic, you're explosive.
Still have it somehow.
Yeah, like, I don't, like, you see him dunk every now and then, you're like, I know it's in there, why the fuck are you holding it?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it's kind of frustrating as a Lakers fan for me to sit there and watch that, and it's like, we could trade you away in a fucking heartbeat. And I don't know why LeBron actually hadn't thought of that.
Well, who's gonna take that much money on a contract after
That too.
seeing what he's put out?
That
you know?
too, man.
Yeah.
Like, it's a liability.
Yeah, what Kyrie's due like 38 and Westbrook's at like 46. You know, like
Who would you rather have? And then you got to worry about if you do go to trade them, what team's going to have the money to put forth to pick up that contract. And I feel like the Miami Heat is facing that same problem with Duncan Robinson. They just gave that man a year ago or 2 years ago $90 million. Yeah,
paid.
$90 million, bro.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah, and it's because he is one of their best three-point shooters.
Yeah,
He facilitates the ball. He's got great court vision.
Yeah,
But
he's a good
and
player.
if you notice though, in these in this playoffs that just recently happened, he played maybe like 5 to 15 minutes each series. Each series out of 7 games, 5 to 15 minutes, and it's because his defense is lacking.
Oh, just a liability.
Yeah, on
Yep.
defense, he's a liability, man. They can't really afford to keep him in there for more than a couple of possessions to go knock down some shots. And so it's kind of hard because I love Duncan Robinson as a player.
Yeah.
I think he's a good fit for the Heat. I just think before they think about trading him away, they should think about his player development first.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, big time.
But we'll just have to see how this offseason plays out for the NBA. But speaking of off seasons, I know it's the off season for the NFL, and I know my good friend sitting across the table, Austin. I know you are. I know you're ready, man. That's Cy right there. I know you're ready to see. What do you think is going to go down, man?
Well, I don't want to make any like crazy accusations or claims, but Lamar Jackson's going to get his first Super Bowl. The running back core is going to stay healthy.
Oh
this
shit!
year. No, I'm really looking forward. I think it's about as evenly competitive as we've ever seen. Like, across the board, you've got Brady back in Tampa. Who knows what's going on at San Fran right now? You know,
San Francisco is a wild case.
is
The
Deshaun-
Dolphins altogether.
Exactly.
Their whole team, that got like a whole upgraded team in the offseason.
Yeah.
Yeah, is Deshaun going to be able to play at all this year? Because if so, the AFC North is a bunch of bruisers. You've got the Bengals, who just made the Super Bowl, Ravens, Browns with Watson and Amari Cooper. You
That's
know what
deadly.
I mean?
Yeah, that would be deadly.
And let this rookie for Pittsburgh do okay. The defense is locked down. The receiving core is nasty. You've got Najee Harris. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to it. But it's crazy, man. As far as my fantasy football drafts, I'm really looking forward to it. A lot of new faces and new places.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Same here, too, because, have they already had their draft yet? Yeah, yes or no?
What, fantasy-wise?
No, the NFL.
Yes. They've gone through, and there's some good rookies that wound up at some places.
Yeah, and I know there were some breakout stars last year, like the Colts running back. What was his name?
Jonathan Taylor.
Jonathan Taylor, yep. That man in fantasy racked up points for me, and then I traded him away. Yeah, dude, because
crown jewel.
Well, it's because it was at the beginning of the season, and he had put up some decent numbers, and I was like,
slump.
Yeah, he hit that slump, and I was like, oh fuck, dude, I knew the Colts were gonna be ass. There's no point in keeping this man. Because their offensive line just can't hold, and then somehow their offensive line started hitting right again. And Jonathan Taylor, whether it be up the seam, up the middle, or bouncing it to the outside, that man has jets, and he let the world know that he's something to watch out for. So I'm gonna. He's
crazy.
Definitely on my draft watch list. If he doesn't get picked, I'm gonna have to pick him up. And as far as other stars that emerged, as far as defense goes. I know you don't really draft defensive players, but as far as team defense goes, like you said, the Steelers.
Oh yeah,
that defense is crazy. I'm hoping the Tampa Bay Buccaneers defense is going to be as solid as it has been the past few years.
Yeah.
San Francisco 49ers always got a decent defense. You can never go wrong with them.
Dallas is looking nice.
That was a pleasant surprise, but I'm not going to lie. They need to do something about Dak, man.
Yeah.
Dak Prescott is just not it. I'm going to go on record and say right now that I feel like Dak Prescott is the Russell Westbrook of the NFL. I said it.
Okay.
I said it.
A lot of padded stats.
Yes. Like a little bit of inflated stats, you know what I'm saying? Hasn't really done anything in the playoffs or the postseason to warrant the amount of attention and money he's getting, because he's getting a lucrative amount of money.
Yeah.
And he hasn't made it that far into the playoffs, even close to a Super Bowl.
I have not heard that take yet, but that's not a bad take.
I know, right? It kind of does make sense. And I know Dylan over there, DJ Big Dooley, you won the crown last year in our NFL Fantasy League.
I did. I know I'm going to have some competition this year. I know Austin wants in here. And so everybody's
fuck it up for y'all.
Everybody
and last year was my first
crown.
year. So last year was my first year playing fantasy for real. I had played one season before. I'd played one season before with Austin and the rest of the boys down in Pensacola whenever they were still up here. But as far as that, I just dicked around that season because we didn't have any money on the line or anything. But when you got $50 on the line because everybody threw in a $5 bill, you start watching your analytics and your statistics a little bit from game to game. So now that I know, and also the waiver wire. That shit was confusing as fuck for me to learn how to work, bro.
Yeah, if you lose, you get first pick.
And then if you start winning, you get less picks and all that shit. So that shit was kind of confusing for me to learn how to work. I'm going to be real with you, bro. Philip Frazier, if you're listening and watching this podcast right now, I don't know how you didn't get last place with an auto-drafted team. Auto-drafted. You barely made any moves the whole season. This motherfucker had a break-even record. And I had a damn good drafted team, man. But I didn't learn how to work the waiver wire fast enough, and that fucked me over. And I ended up fighting against Myra for last place. Fighting against Myra for last place. So it was entertaining. Thankfully, I didn't lose, so I don't have to take that ice bath. But I didn't win either, so I'm not getting a $50 pot. Speaking of which, remind me to pay you your $5 winning after I get paid this Thursday. Don't let me forget. But yeah, hopefully I can stand a little bit better chance. Maybe finish top 5 since we're having 10 people in this league.
Make the playoffs.
Yeah, make the playoffs. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So. We'll see, though. We'll see. Because I know you and you right here, the two guys motherfuckers sitting across from me,
It's going to be a little bit of a threat.
Yeah. A little bit, a lot of it.
Me and Austin have been in a couple leagues together. We've duked it out before. We can do it again.
I mean, I would talk shit about being a previous champ and making the finals the next year, but that was me riding Todd Gurley's coattails.
Oh, yeah. Todd Gurley,
Mm-hmm.
before his knee injury was the truth.
Yeah, my team was decent outside of that, but no lie, I won the championship with a 40-year-old Phillip Rivers and
Hey, but Phillip Rivers kind of raw though, bro.
Yeah, on certain weeks, but like there were guys with Patrick Mahomes throwing up 40 points. I'm like, Todd Gurley's got 45. Well, y'all, I hate to ask again, but my little bladder's full. So
Intermission, elevator music, cue.
20 minutes later.
Back in action.
We're back.
All right, back from another little intermission.
Alrighty, y'all. Well, good shout out on the new fantasy league. I'm really looking forward to that.
Absolutely, man.
Yeah, appreciate it. So y'all, we're gonna start to close it down, but before we go, like we said at the jump of this thing, the main focus of this podcast is highlighting, promoting local artists from the 256. So if you guys would like to share a little bit about what we've got right now in the news as far as the local industry.
Well, I guess we could tell you like who all we're working with around here. What kind of
artists to look out for.
We've mentioned a few already. We mentioned Onyx Corwin himself over here across the table. His band, separate from his single music, which is the Sunshine Crooners. Then we've got Giles Smith, our good buddy King Hundo, and then we've got Kid Kent, which is on Jay's newest single.
Yeah, he killed that shit. I am so thankful. He dropped some well needed lyricism for me that day, and I'm thankful. Thank you, Kid Kent, if you're hearing this and watching this. I already know you probably are. So I appreciate you, man. Much love. Much love to Cutler Studios, Dalton Cutler. I appreciate you, man. Not gatekeeping anything, not holding out on me. You gave me your 110% best. I really appreciate that, man, and all your advice given me while I produce the instrumental and then send it over to you to engineer it. I appreciate all that advice, man. Much love.
Cutler Studios is also who gave us this logo.
Yes.
For the T-shirts.
Right here, TFS.
Oh, this must be nice, man. I wouldn't know anything about that. I'm just over here repping Dreamville, as hard as I can.
Hey, man, we'll get you a TFS one soon.
It's just a large, man. It's not special size.
We'll get you one soon. Come on.
Well, every podcast until then, I'm going to have Death Row. I'm going to have Rock Nation. I'm going to have every other label.
And that's where we want to defer ourselves. We don't want to be known as a label.
Okay.
And the big thing about that too is labels, they really are just like banks, in the sense that when they sign an artist, they give them in advance and they own their assets. And what I mean by assets is like your creative liberties and your social media, your masters for your music. They own all that, so they make their return off that. That's what they mean when they say you got to pay that shit back.
Yeah.
And like J. Cole said, in his song 1985, which was it was a reply to was it Lil Pump?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a reply to Lil Pump, and he was talking about how his lyrics were, I got some good advice, never quit touring, because that's the way we eat up in this rap game. Yeah. And that's what he was talking about, man. Labels will fuck you over on your streams. Labels will fuck you over on everything else except for your live shows and like your merch sales.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And like 21 Savage, I was watching an interview with him, and he was like, man, I own all my masters. 70% of the masters go to me. I make more money off my streams than I do my live shows. And he makes a shitload of money in his live shows. So that's, that goes to show you. But yeah, we don't own distribution. We don't own publishing. We don't own their masters. What we do is I'll produce for them, edit the music videos for them.
Make some cover art.
Make some cover art. Everything is commission based around here. That's the one thing too, because we all understand, like, we're trying to get started. We're not actually in the industry yet. Yeah. We are to a certain degree, but definitely nowhere near what people envision when we say music industry. We're not there yet.
Yeah.
We are in the industry, but we're not to the public knowledge like standard of the music industry. Like, you got your Drakes and your Billie Eilishes and like even your indie artists that are kind of smaller, but they're in the industry because they get streams, millions of streams. Yeah. Hundreds of thousands even. But we're on the way there, man. So it's just a productions company, we just work very close hand in hand with the artists, like Dylan was saying.
When we work with somebody, we work with them because we like who they are as a person, not just the music they make.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we're not gonna we want to work with everybody that we can, but at the end of the day, you can't work with everybody.
Yep.
So you have to pick and choose who you work with, and so we're trying to find the most dedicated people that are, you know, wanting to be a part of this, that want to do this, you know, that want the support from the other people around them. Like, and a couple more artists, you know, that you've been recording yourself, Jay, that to be on the lookout for. M. Capone, Almighty Tay, you know, 2 separate artists we got in here. You recording them at 2 different times and then introducing them to each other. And, you know, now they got a song that you're working on together for them.
Yeah, and that shit's gonna bang too, man. Y'all keep on the lookout for M. Capone. I know he's been performing live in Anniston.
Yeah, for Ricky Smiley.
Ricky Smiley, very, very good promoter, very good person. Ricky Smiley is a very good person. Loves M. Capone to death too, man. I have never seen or heard of Ricky Smiley acting the way he acts toward M. Capone with everyone else, anybody else for that matter. So that guy's got something special, man. And like Dylan was saying, it's very important for us to, like, we gotta vibe with you first before we get into the work, because if our personal connection's not a vibe, and we can't have a personal connection like that, then the workflow is just not gonna be there.
Yeah.
But yeah, if the vibes aren't there, man, I know the workflow's not gonna be there as much as we want it to be. So we really try to formulate a very personal connection with the artists that we work with. Some more artists in the 256 area that you guys need to be aware of that are very prominent in the local scene. Different, DIIFRNT. Different is very solid. Dr. Spot, shout out to Dr. Spot. That man is on some other shit with his lyricism. One of the best I've ever heard, to be honest with you. I would go as far to say if he went to a studio in LA, he would be up close to Kendrick's level.
Wow.
Yeah, like no shit, no lying to you. Another upcoming artist to look out for is I actually just recorded a song for him. It's gonna drop soon. His name is Amari.
Ah, yeah.
Yeah. And so I forgot his actual artist name, but I think it's Young Prodigy.
Yeah.
So,
Prodigy.
Young Prodigy, look out for him. That's going to be a banger. You guys aren't expecting that. When I say his lyricism is unmatched, And same with Different, dude. They're just 2 different beasts. No pun intended, but they are just built different. Yeah, dude. So, another prominent artist to look out for in this location is Chase Hurtado. Yes. Chase Hurtado, I love working with Chase Hurtado. He's a very cool guy, very humble guy. His producer, Chris English, isn't it?
Chris Voice.
Chris Voice, his producer, Chris Voice, very, very talented individual. He's also an artist himself, very gifted voice, very gifted ear when it comes to all that stuff. Another prominent artist to look out for in this area is Spudrick. Shout out to Spudrick. I know he's on Twitch. Don't know his Twitch handle, but we'll probably put the link down below in this YouTube video for you guys to go check him out. Very talented guy, very funny guy too. Very like, just super fucking down to earth, man. He's so cool.
And man has a voice on him.
Yeah, he does. He can sing his ass off. Super talented. And from what Cutler has told us, his whole family's like that too.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
I wouldn't be surprised if his sister got on the track with him here soon. But yeah, man, a lot of stuff going on as far as the local scene is concerned, and eventually, we'll stop being able to say local scene and just be like, the scene.
Yeah.
The 256 scene. This is what's popping. We ain't local no more, baby.
Yeah.
Like, we'll get there, but right now, that's what's happening.
Yeah.
That's what's happening.
There's many more artists we work with as well that, we're close with, we have ties with.
Yeah, shout out to another one that's up and coming, the real 444. Yeah, if you're hearing this. You're doing great work, man. I love fucking recording you. You're a vibe. I've never met anyone like you, and that's not a bad thing, man. I fucking love working with you. You are talented as fuck. His lyricism, again, unparalleled lyricism. His storytelling is insane. I'm working on a song for him right now called Wedding Ring. That shit is going to absolutely bang. So be on the lookout for that as well.
And all these artists you're talking about, at some point we're going to try to get them in here, get them on this podcast, and ask them some questions, figure out, how they got to where they are now, what got them their love for the music. And just see what answers they give us.
Facts. And another producer I would like to shout out, is Chandler Nation. He actually is the one who started producing my first stuff. and he's the one that's kind of helped me get into producing myself. So much love for that guy, Chandler. He produces all of Giles' stuff. Any instrumental you hear that Giles is on, there is a 99.9999% possibility Chandler is the brains and the machine behind that. He is absolutely crazy with it. Super talented. So shout outs to him. Thank you, Chandler.
Giles, I think, is going to be our next guest on the next episode.
Yeah.
He'll be our first official guest.
Looking forward to that.
I know he's got a little EP dropping. I'm not going to say too much about it, but...
all y'all got to know is it's fucking heat.
I'll let y'all wait until he gets on here and tell you a little bit more about it.
Heat.
Man, I'm honestly looking forward to getting to know some of these guys better. I've got the opportunity to hang out with Giles. Super down-to-earth guy. I've loved a lot of the art that I've seen him put out. So definitely looking forward to the next interview with him. But I'm in the best seat in the house. Y'all just work all freaking day to make this beautiful music and art, and I just get to sit back and, shoot the shit and see what's going on behind the scenes, man.
Heck yeah.
Really appreciative of being right here, right now.
No, man, I'm appreciative of you too, man, being able to, kind of step up to the plate and kind of host this thing for us when we're a little too busy to kind of make ideas and kind of formulate a plan as far as interviews go and shit like that. I'm thankful for you too, bro. I'm glad you're here.
Anytime, man. Well, before we cut out of here, we've already kind of leaked that we're going to have Giles and Chandler Nation hopefully next week, we're thinking. Drop another episode.
This will be a little weird one. This first episode, is going up on this Tuesday, but then after that, the next episode will go up next Tuesday, but from there on out, it'll be every other Tuesday.
Every other Tuesday, okay. I like that.
So we fell a little behind this week, so that's why we got too close together. But it's all good. We're going to get everything situated right. We just wanted to make sure we get Giles in here before he drops his EP.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that way he could talk about that. Anything else you boys got?
Well, the only thing I want to ask is, as far as TFS in-house, we just mentioned Giles has the EP coming out here soon. Is there anything that we can be looking for from you guys? I know you just dropped a track.
Yeah, man. Like I said, Kent's on it. Kid Kent is on it. Produced by myself, TFS Productions, and Cutler Studios. Cutler Studios, thank you so much, my guy. You really, really, really helped me up my game with this. I'm looking forward to doing more work with you in the future. A lot more work with you in the future, if God sees fit. And Kid Kent, you too, man. I appreciate you hopping on the track and you brought a different kind of energy, and you brought the exact energy that I was looking for. I'm getting the goosebumps right here just thinking about your verse, like dead ass. I don't know if the camera can see it, but my hairs are standing up. Yeah, man, I enjoyed that the whole process working. Cutler, we got to have some FaceTime, man. I ain't seen you in a minute, so if you're listening to this, which I'm pretty sure you will be, go ahead and let's schedule something. Let's go grab a beer, let's go grab some ribs from Cooter Brown's. I don't know if you've ever had Cooter Brown's, but they got the best ribs in Alabama. Yes, Cooter Brown's, shout out to you guys, a 256 staple right there. But yeah, man, there's just a lot of shit to look out for as far as our artists go. We have been
working on a video right now for Giles.
Yeah, working like crazy.
That should be dropping. I think he's wanting to drop it on the 1st.
Okay.
So that should be coming up soon.
Nice.
That's gonna bang, bro. I'm already knowing. Yeah. Grim Films, film production, TFS edit production, Grim Films, different. Thank you once again for collaborating with us on that. Much love to you, my man. More work to come in the future. We're hungry. We're hungry together. Let's not starve together too. But yeah, man, a lot of just in-house shit going on as far as our artists go. Dylan actually just made a cover art for M. Capone. He's got a song that we recorded for him called On My Mama. He's got kind of a 21 Savage vibe, but it's completely different.
Yeah.
I don't know how to explain it. It's just, I guess the tone of his voice makes me think 21 Savage, but his bars and his flow and his wordplay and even his storytelling with the new shit that I've been recording with him, which I'm not going to get too much into that, but just know that's heat. But yeah, man, he's a one talented individual. Almighty Tay, like Dylan said earlier, he's been working with us for a minute now. He's about to have some stuff drop. He's probably about to come over and work on some arts with Dylan. As far as every other one, I know Yeah, I just sent him the master to one of his other songs. So that's going to be heat. Young Prodigy, Amari, I know you're listening.
Yes,
so
sir.
I know he's about to drop some absolute heat. When I'm telling you, man, as far as like my production level is going, I feel like that's the best thing I've ever produced. It's not my beat or anything, but like lyrically and vocally, I feel like that's the best thing I've ever produced, and I'm glad that we met. You know, we've been texting back and forth today too a little bit, and Dylan, he's like so fucking thankful, man. And I like, he's like, man, I'm glad God blessed me with the opportunity to meet you guys, and I'm like, dude, I'm glad God blessed me with the opportunity to meet you, dude. Like,
Yeah, he's good.
Like,
people.
he is one of a kind person, man. Just stand up guy. And it's wild his philosophy on music, but I'll let him tell you about that when he interviews with us here soon.
Yeah.
But as far as wrapping everything up in house, that's what we got going on. I'm not gonna say too much. Don't want to give too much away. But Dylan, I heard you were probably working live sound for a band here soon, though. You want to talk about that just real quick?
Yeah, I've been working with a band around here named Think Sanity. Shout out to Jack Vermouth for the opportunities. You know, sometimes he calls me up whenever he needs me to, help run sound for him. Got absolutely no problem doing that for him, doing it for anybody that we work with. I love the people that we work with. Absolutely enjoy doing everything that I do with them. You know, everybody's good people. Everybody's good on their word with shit. You know what I mean? Never have to worry about anything.
Heck yeah. Always a good time when Jack comes through. Always a good time.
Absolutely.
But yeah, man, that's about the gist of what we got going on without giving too much of it away.
Well, with that being said, if you guys have made it this far, we appreciate you spending the time listening in and having a little bit of fun with us, sticking around and kind of introducing ourselves, what we're looking to establish here. And look forward to the next episode, like we said, coming out next week. And I guess until then, we're signing out. TFS from the 256. Thank you again very much. We are available on Spotify, YouTube.
Well, it's gonna be YouTube at first. Probably be on Facebook. We're gonna try to get on Spotify, our Heart Radio podcast.
Okay.
Pretty much anywhere you can listen to your podcast, we're definitely trying to get on there and get everything situated with that.
Yeah. You guys do not understand what just a like, share, or comment would do for us.
Follow anything you want to do. Leave a comment. Just whether you enjoyed the show or not, just leave a comment. Just say it. If there's something we could work on, tell us.
Yeah, if you made it this far, you had to like something. If you didn't like something, let us know, man. I mean, for real.
Absolutely.
But again, very much appreciated. Thank you, too, for letting me sit down and have this conversation. And I'm looking forward to next week, y'all.
Absolutely,
man. We'll see you guys.
Signing off.
See ya.